Hi, I'm Mathematician, and today we're going to be learning about index laws 3, 4, and 5, and the zero power rule. So let's get started on index law 3. When raising a term in index form to another power, like x raised to m in brackets raised to n, retain the base and multiply the indices. So we keep the x, but we multiply m and n together, giving us x raised to mn. Let's do a practice question. X raised to 4 in brackets raised to 3. So according to index law 3, we do x raised to 4 times 3, giving us x raised to 12. Let's move on to the zero power rule. Some people say the zero power rule is a law, some people say it's don't, but either way it's important. Any expression except 0 raised to the power of 0 is 1. So any expression, term, or any number raised to the power of 0 is always equal to 1. But the only thing is x cannot be raised. X cannot be 0. That's the only exception. So let's do a problem just so you know how it works. 2x in brackets raised to 0. So that would obviously give us 1 because 2x is a term or expression and it's all raised to 0, so that would just give us 1. Let's do index law 4. Index law 4 tells us when multiplying 2 or more terms raised to the power of n, raise each number in the bracket to the power of n. So that just means we're distributing the power of n between z and y and separating them out and getting rid of the brackets. Let's do a practice question. 4 times y in brackets raised to 2. That would give us 4y raised to 2 according to index law 4. And then we could just do 4 squared multiplied by y squared. I'm just not putting in the multiplication sign because when you just write a number next to a number, it just means multiply. So we can still further simplify 4 squared, but we can't simplify y squared, so 4 squared would give us 16, and then we just write y squared next. 16y squared. Okay, let's do index law 5. Index law 5 is basically index law 4, but instead of the 2 or more terms multiplying, they're dividing. And there's one clause. The clause is that y, or the denominator in the fraction, cannot be equal to 0, or the law wouldn't make sense at all. So let's work on this example. So b over 3 in brackets raised to 3. So we've solved this question by separating it out and getting rid of the brackets. That would give us b raised to 3 over 3 raised to 3. And then we can also simplify. Cannot simplify b raised to 3 because it's a variable. We don't know what the value of b is, but we can simplify 3 raised to 3. So we just leave b raised to 3 by itself because we don't know the value of b. But 3 raised to 3 will give us 27 as an answer. So the answer will be b raised to 3 over 27. Now let's go through some problems for you to solve and simplify. I'll give you 10 seconds for video purposes, but all my video will be too long. But feel free to pause the video and when you're done, unpause it, and then I'll start explaining. But I'll just give you 10 seconds. Now I'll start explaining, but if you didn't have enough time, just pause the video. It's alright, because even I wouldn't be able to solve all 4 questions in just 10 seconds. I'll do this in blue so it's easier for you to understand. 3 squared in brackets and then squared again. So according to index law 3, as we can see up here, we just have to multiply the m and the n and retain the x. So if we just do that here, 3, and then we have to multiply the 2 indices together, giving us 3 raised to 4, and 3 raised to 4 would give us 81. So 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27, and 27 times 3 is 81. Okay, let's move on to question number 2. This is index law 5, because division and it's raised to an indice on the outside. So let's look back to index law 5. So we just have to raise each number in the brackets to the power of n. But in this case, it's the power of 3. So let's solve it. A raised to 3, and then 4 raised to 3. Now, we cannot simplify the a raised to 3, but we can simplify the 4 raised to 3. We just leave a raised to 3 by itself, and then 4 raised to 3 would give us 64. Since 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 times 4 is 64. Now let's do question number 3. So this is index law 4. So let's refer back to it. So we just have to raise each number in the brackets to the power of n, or in this case, the power 2. Okay, let's solve this question. So we can do 12 squared multiplied by 10 squared. And since we don't have a variable in this question, we can simplify this. So 12 squared would give us 144, since 12 times 12 is 144, multiplied by 10 squared, which is 100. And when we multiply this, we would get 14,400 as an answer. Let's move.
So you might have noticed that I accidentally erased out the last 0 for the answer for question number 3. So the actual answer is 14,400.
Everything is raised to 0. That would mean that the answer is just going to be 1. Whatever's inside the brackets, the answer is just going to be 1. That was sort of a trick question. I'm sorry if I tricked you. But in maths, you got to focus on the detail, because it may change your problem, change the answer you get. So thanks for watching my video on index laws 3, 4, and 5. But if you enjoyed it, chuck a like down below, and don't forget to subscribe if you want more videos like this. And if you have any questions or feedback for me to improve my video, then put in the comments box down below. And if you want to watch my video on index laws 1 and 2, there'll be a small window on the bottom left corner of the video right about now, or I'll also put a link in the description box. Thanks for watching, and the Maths Magician will see you later.